Just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I just want to, it's very gratifying to, and when I look out here and I see some of our merchants that have made significant investment in our downtown, and the fact that all of these investments are within very close proximity to one another. It's always been my philosophy that proximity is everything. How you, if you get creative people together in an area, the closer they are, the more they interact with one another, the greater the energy becomes, because ideas and imagination and even enthusiasm is spread among them. And that's the idea of the walkable city. And we're, both Gloversville and Johnstown are in a position where we have the old Victorian street infrastructure. And I know that Mayor Jackson said that parking was a problem, but it's really important, I think, when we try to solve the parking issue, to recognize that walkability and proximity is so vitally important to the energy of a community. I just want to recognize, Mr. and Mrs. Capano, who, built that beautiful Anchor, that hardware store right in downtown. And when I go in that hardware store, he talks to me about all the other businesses he wants to open and all the other buildings he wants to buy. And that's really, really encouraging to me. Julie, right on Main Street, Julie Frazier's here, and Tanya Lynette Grimes, and I call her the one-woman critical mass, because she's not only doing the 13 North Main Street building, but she has all of these ideas for several other buildings. And that idea of energy being, our communities are becoming something. Everyone's always spoken for so many years. Anytime you wanted to talk to people about Gloversville and Johnstown, they talked about what it was. How vibrant it was in the 1950s or the 1940s, and how prosperous it was, and that all of that prosperity is around. But we've started to think about the future. We've started to think about the 21st century community. And I've used this analogy before, but I never knew how a caterpillar creates a cocoon and becomes a butterfly. And it was always a mystery to me. And it wasn't too many years ago that I finally read scientifically how that happens. And what happens is the caterpillar builds a cocoon around itself, and then the caterpillar dies. And so everything in the caterpillar dies, and then the caterpillar starts to decompose inside the cocoon. But there are these little groups of cells throughout the caterpillar that have the DNA for the butterfly. And they're all dormant. And they start to grow, and they start to nourish themselves on the corpse of the caterpillar. And at some point, they come in contact with one another. And as soon as that happens, they start building the butterfly. So that's Gloversville and Johnstown. You can't walk from downtown Gloversville to downtown Johnstown. It's my dream that at some point, we're going to have a trolley that goes back and forth and shuttles all day to the two downtowns, that you can go to each city, with a trolley. And on the trolley, there will be maybe an actor that is dressed up like Lucius Latour. And he starts talking about something from the 19-teens or 20s. And when you get to Johnstown, Sir William Johnson gets on the bus. And he starts talking to people about the history of Johnstown. And I just think that there are so many possibilities for us to grow together. So I'm encouraged by the future. In spite of COVID, our quality of life is fantastic up here, and I think that's being recognized by a lot of people who have spent much time in big cities and who live in big cities because they're coming up here and they're buying houses like crazy. I think they recognize the quality of the small community. And I think we have everything, the proximity to all the recreation in the Adirondacks. And I've always said, we're not a hard sell. So I really feel very confident about the future and all of the initiatives that we're doing. And we've even started, I think, Vern, we're in the process of exchanging an intermunicipal agreement to share an animal control officer. So that's the first step, I think. And
First of many.
the first of many, I think.
Thank you.